Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/thebplus and subscribe today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one. Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. On bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family Gradunzo.
Mamma mia.
And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
Number 4. Armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening to this. Welcome to the B Plus Podcast. My name is C-Jaii, and this week we're talking WWE Universe a little bit quickly, because it wasn't a huge build to WrestleMania this week, as I found. But as always, we are joined by the B Plus Insta Queen herself, Danders. How are you doing, Danders?
I'm doing well. Thanks, CJ. How are you doing?
Yeah, getting there. We're struggling through another week of WWE. To me, this felt like the end of 2018 again. I didn't feel like there was any strong builds.
Yeah, it felt like a little bit of a filler show, which is strange because I guess we are now 1 week removed from Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's the next pay-per-view is like 2 weeks away. So I feel like we should be building towards Elimination Chamber, but they are still quite close together. So yeah, it's a bit hard to stay into it at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to gauge. One thing this week that, of course, everyone's starting to gauge, they're building Becky Lynch like crazy.
Yeah.
So
I have opinions.
Yeah, we'll get straight into those opinions. We'll start with Becky Lynch opening Monday Night Raw with Stephanie McMahon, of course, and they're having this little back and forth. Stephanie wants Becky to go see a doctor. She's outright refusing. She won't go see a doctor. Fears that she'll get put on the shelf again. But Stephanie McMahon is like, hey, no, you see a doctor or you're suspended. In the end, ends up getting suspended by Stephanie McMahon and then lays into her. That was cool.
That part was cool, but it's like with the whole Stephanie and stuff, I thought they were coming in because we weren't going to be seeing them as much, and I feel like we're seeing them all the time now, and I feel like we're getting them all the time. And in my heart, when I saw this segment, the little tinglings of fear in my heart were like, are we getting Stephanie McMahon versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania? Like, is that how Stephanie McMahon doesn't have a WrestleMania match at the moment? So how's she gonna fit herself? Oh God, please no.
I hope she doesn't do that, because there are so many more deserving people on this roster. She can't come in and just do one match. It's like Triple H doing it. It annoys me so much.
and I guess we'll get onto Triple H when we talk about SmackDown.
Yeah.
But this part, it was just, it doesn't need to happen. Becky is so organic on her own. I don't know if they're trying to detract from Ronda because of how Ronda is on the mic.
I don't think it's that. I think this is going to be their way that they sneak Charlotte in. Becky's going to be suspended until literally the week before WrestleMania, where she's going to be like, no, I've seen a doctor, I'm good to go. In the meantime, Charlotte's going to have a way to get into this match, and we're going to have that triple threat. Just a slight little groan there. I think you're not excited.
I'm not super happy, but now that I've had the thought, even though like it 100% wouldn't happen, now that I've had the thought that Stephanie McMahon could insert herself into it, I feel a little bit more okay with it. Look, it's not even just that I think we should have Ronda versus Becky. It's also, I want Charlotte versus Asuka. I want that 2.0. I want Asuka to go over and get her. That's a perfect storyline building from last year. I think that they could make a whole thing out of it. And I don't know if it's perhaps because the SmackDown Women's title with Becky is the hottest belt, apart from now that Daniel Bryan with his marijuana belt or whatever. That's pretty cool. But for the last 3 months, the SmackDown Women's title has been the hottest, most contested title, in my opinion.
That's exactly right. You're right. It's the only other title that I think has spotlight on it is the United Kingdom Championship. That's because it's been held by the same guy for like 600 days.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that's got spotlight on it. On the main roster, the SmackDown Women's Championship in the past probably 3-4 months.
Since Evolution, I think, is when it really, or probably even going back to SummerSlam when Becky turned on Charlotte. I think that's sort of when it had the build there. And now it's going to be completely cast aside. No disrespect to Asuka. She's doing awesome work at the moment. But they're putting all the focus on the Raw Women's Championship to have two. And Becky Lynch has been SmackDown since the brand split. Like, she's the only one who is like A1 from day one.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're putting all this focus on the Raw Women's Championship, it's just going to bury Asuka again.
Yeah, and I'm really worried that it's going to, but as of this point, Becky Lynch is suspended. At the moment, is not a part of WWE main roster. So, I guess we're kind of got to see where it goes from there, really. It's kind of worrying that they're going to shove Charlotte into this spot, but I guess we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. Fair call. I didn't hate this segment. I liked the attack on Steph, especially without Steph being like monster heel. Like Steph, what she was saying was quite reasonable. It's like, you need to see a doctor, go see a doctor and you'll be fine.
No, that's exactly right. She was playing the mum card, in a sense.
Yeah.
She was playing the overly protective mum card, and then Becky's like that psychotic teenager that's like, no, Ma, I don't want to do what you want to tell me to do.
Yeah, I don't really like what they're doing with that either. Just the fuck you, I won't do what you tell me kind of deal.
Yeah. But I think, again, like I said earlier, it's so Becky doesn't get put on the shelf. I think that's what they're playing for her mindset. But speaking of Becky, her WrestleMania opponent did double duty tonight. Well, on Raw, not tonight.
She did. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, old Ronda on the mic. I can't with Ronda. Bless her. Burying the Riot Squad. I think I whinge every week about how the Riot Squad are booked. I adore all of them, particularly Liv Morgan. She is the stuff of my bisexual dreams. That's an overshare. The way that they're just, I liked that they didn't do the full 3 of them losing to Ronda.
I think that was good.
Yeah, the 2 of them. I'm like, have they not suffered enough? They got buried by Natalya. But
you know what? Could this be the whole, we're going to bury, kill all your momentum for Elimination Chamber, and then boom, here's the championship?
No, this is just straight up make Ronda look strong. Who have we got that we can throw under the bus to Ronda?
Why didn't they just throw Dana Brooke? But
yeah.
So Ronda Rousey defeated both Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan by submission. Quick and easy matches. Quickly buried. Pretty much done and dusted. Quick 15-minute segment.
Yeah.
So then we get a fatal 4-way number 1 contendership for the irrelevant Raw Tag Team titles. I didn't even notice that Rude and Gable had a spot on the show. They were shown on like a little camera thing looking backstage at an angled TV. I hate that angled TV spot.
Yeah, bless them.
But honestly, like it's... They've created this tag team division to be useless at the moment. But in this match, we had The Revival versus Loser House Party versus B-Team, who I forgot were around, and Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery already in a number 1 contenders match. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it also, I think, shows the weakness of the...
And the lack of
the
star
division
power.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like all of their teams bar the tag team champions.
Yeah, and also didn't SmackDown last week do this exact same thing?
Yes, that's what I was... In my notes, I've got, oh, we're having this again. I thought this was last week. And I was like, oh, wait, that's SmackDown.
Yeah. That being said, I was glad to see the Revival win. I think that will help squash some of those AEW rumors. Yeah,
well... Speaking on those AEW rumors, we touched a bit on it last week, I'm pretty sure, with the Revival trying to get their release.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be WWE's way of going, hey, we don't want you to leave, how do we keep you? Here's the titles.
Potentially.
And give them a strong run with the championships for WrestleMania season.
Potentially. I personally see these belts being on the pre-show of WrestleMania anyway. But
again,
any hole's a goal.
True.
So
as long as the Revival get their dues, it's all that really matters.
The Raw Tag Team division is such a mess. I feel like I'm being super negative, but this show was just such a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, this Monday Night Raw wasn't the greatest. Speaking of which, another segment that wasn't great, Kurt Angle's speech. Was he about to retire?
That was so weird because... To be fair, I thought that, and I'm pretty sure it was Drew McIntyre who came out and made the point, or maybe it was Baron Corbin, one of them, that was like, didn't you retire at the Hall of Fame last year? It's like, I know he's had matches since then, but it's just like, it's very bizarre seeing him come out. It's kind of like, watching like an elderly dog walk on its hind legs kind of thing. Like, and that sounds awful, but like, just... Yeah, I haven't been loving there's nothing where he's come back, except for maybe his WrestleMania match with Ronda Rousey. That was the only time where I've been like, this is awesome, this is really cool. He needs to just retire, have some backstage segments, whatever. I don't want to see him in matches anymore.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I grew up watching Kurt Angle, and to me, I was like, oh, are we actually going to get a full-time run from Kurt? Like, could he be like, I've lost a couple, but I'm here to stay and I'm gunning for a championship or something. Like,
I
to me,
watching Kurt Angle too. I reckon I was watching Kurt Angle before you were born. Probably not. But I remember watching. I'm pretty sure it was Survivor Series '99 was his debut show, which is one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time because I am a child of the Attitude Era.
I started in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah. So, that being said, that was probably his better, like around 2002, I think was his best work. But that opening, Anyway, we're going into a tangent here. We said we were going to be. I just don't think Kurt Angle has the movement anymore.
He doesn't have the movement, which is why I think in the main event they put him in a tag team with Braun Strowman. So they had Kurt and Drew McIntyre. Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre came out to interrupt this speech, and eventually they were going to like go down and attack Kurt because Kurt was like, "Yeah, bring it. I've still got it. Come on, against Drew McIntyre of all people, you'll get wrecked just by him alone." But then Baron Corbin comes out for the save. The match gets made official for the main event. Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
not a match we want to see.
Yeah, just put Becky Lynch in the main event. What are they doing? This isn't even Becky Lynch's
let's
show.
Let's suspend Becky Lynch and then put her in the main event. That's great.
Yeah, that's no one's wanting to see. It's WWE making it very hard for us to care about Baron Corbin or Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they keep putting them. It's just like, make a call. Do you want us to invest in these people, or are they getting shoved aside?
I think Baron Corbin will get shoved aside eventually. Braun Strowman not so much, because he's kind of the new Kane, if you think about it. He's kind of been built like the new Kane. And Drew McIntyre is going to be the next big thing. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
True.
So, but in the end, we saw that as well. Let's skip a couple of matches first. In the end, we for the main event we saw that. We'll get to that in a second. In between that, the segment and the main event, we have Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross for a chamber qualifying match.
The thing is with these matches is, you know who's going to win, because you know that it's like, as much as they want to shit all over Sasha Banks, they're not going to put Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross in the chamber over these two. Like, it's just like established tag team versus two random people thrown together.
Yeah, I kind of half expected, like, Alicia Fox to just get on the mic and be like, this is the Fox and Cross connection, and we can beat everyone else.
Oh my God, do you know, I completely forgot, is that they don't understand how when a Scottish person says Fox, that it sounds like fuck.
Yes.
They really should have taken that into consideration. Yes. My parents are Scottish, so I remember hearing it all the time as a kid, but Fox sounds like fucks when you say it in Scottish, WWE. Need to think about this shit.
Oh, can we just have her and Alicia Fox just have a tangent and just go off at each other? Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, quick squash match. Didn't really mean anything. Then we get another Hall of Famer, which should have retired. Jeff Jarrett versus Elias.
Yeah, what are they doing here?
This segment was wasted. This was pathetic. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah, Raw just needs to be 2 hours. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. I think a couple of these segments, like the Kurt Angle speech, the Elias and Jarrett, I think they're kind of like, oh shit, creative's got nothing. Let's throw them out there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. But again, Elias defeated Double J. But the thing about this match that got me was Jeff Jarrett goes to hit Elias over the back with a guitar and it didn't break.
This brought back shades of, I don't know who's up to date on Underworld. I watched it live a few months ago, Underworld Wrestling in Melbourne. Avery hit Vixen with a guitar, and I'm pretty sure the first time it didn't break. The second time it definitely broke, and it was a thud heard around the world.
Oh gosh, I can imagine. Those guitars are solid too. Like, that'd hurt.
Yeah, so I reckon it would almost hurt more if it didn't break than if
probably.
It did, because you're getting that sweet, sexy bounce there.
Sweet, sexy bounce. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I was still thinking of Avery, to be fair. All right, moving on.
Yeah, let's quick tangent into Finn Balor versus who was supposed to be versing Bobby Lashley. Are we just calling him Lashley now, or is it still Bobby Lashley?
Lashley.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Vince has got that thing for single names only.
Yep, for surnames.
That's right. Yep. So, yeah, we have supposed to have Lashley versus Balor, and they're like, no, you know what? You don't deserve Lashley. So we had the man of the hour, the man with the power, the 23-year-old piece of gold in the Raw ring, and of course, copping a loss, Lio Rush.
Yeah, this was like the first, just having a look over the card, like of the actual like big names of Raw. This seemed to be the first one to come out. And we're already like however long into the show. Good to see Finn back on the winners board. I feel like he's been losing a shit ton lately.
Yeah.
And it's like losing to Brock doesn't actually count as losing, but yes it does.
No, because Brock's not a superstar. That's the point.
Yeah.
He's not a wrestler. He's just someone who's a belt holder, and that's all he is.
This was a little bit of nothingness for me. I don't like seeing Lio Rush. I don't care about him. I feel like he makes Bobby Lashley worse. I feel like Bobby Lashley is harder to watch with Lio Rush. That's just because I don't like him at all.
See, I'm a fan of them separately. Together, to me, I'm not a fan of it. But I reckon in this point, should have gotten rid of the Elias and Double J segment and had a longer Leo versus Balor match. I reckon those two could kill it. Could absolutely kill it. But I suppose guess not, because we got a really quick match. But if this leads to Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor and Balor going over winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber, or even Fastlane, I keep forgetting about Fastlane, this would be huge for Finn.
Yeah, it would be. I just wish they'd pull the pin on it, not pull the pin, just push him. Maybe post Lesnar, assuming that we're getting a little bit of a Lesnar break post Mania.
Yeah.
Just push Finn. Everyone loves Finn.
Yeah.
Bring back
Finn
the
Balor
demon, or don't. Either way.
Well, again, we get Finn Balor defeating Lio Rush, and then we move into what I thought was the highlight of the night, a moment of bliss.
Yeah, it was good, but also a mess. It was quite good, but I was just EC3 is very entertaining. He's very entertaining to watch.
He's great. But
he's a shiny man.
Very shiny. There's the amount of baby oil he had on him today.
I know. I was like, EC3, did you put your body in the Shino ball?
I get that reference. Well done. Nice Simpsons reference. But, yeah, so Alexa Bliss introduces EC3. EC3 comes out lathered in 3/4 of a baby. And... whoops. And they had this little moment where there's a little bit of a flirtation, very large... I didn't know where she was going with that. I kind of tuned out.
Yeah, I remember watching it
bank
and just
account,
thinking...
but...
Yeah, when I was like, I don't think Buddy Murphy's going to be enjoying watching this segment too much.
That's where I thought. I was like, oh man, poor Buddy. They're making a flirt with the one guy he probably doesn't like on the main roster.
But the whole thing with Dean Ambrose when he was like, what happened to EC 1 and 2?
Are you a Creed fan? I think you're a Creed fan. You look like a Creed fan.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that was great. But just the whole, when EC3 goes to speak, and just without looking and without hesitation, Dean just smacks the microphone out of his hand.
Yeah, that was good. I really liked that.
Accuracy. He's just kind of no, shut up. No.
Yeah, it reminded me actually that joke someone said on Monday for the Super Bowl was like, am I still going to enjoy the halftime show if I haven't seen Maroon episodes 1 to 4? I was very pleased with that. But yeah, look, I did enjoy this. I feel like I'm a little bit over Nia Jax. I just feel like she's here all the time doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they've pushed Nia Jax way too much now. This is getting beyond ridiculous because she's now selling the whole, I was in the men's Royal Rumble. I'm better than you because I can verse the man. Like, what are you on about, woman?
Yeah, she lost 2 Royal Rumbles. How's that a bigger achievement? I didn't win 1, but I did lose 2. Good on you, mate.
Just imagine her trying to pull this whole Chris Jericho persona being like, I lost 2 Rumbles in the same night. Can you top that?
Bless her.
Oh, poor Nia. They're burying her so bad, but they've actually got a lot of heat on them at the moment. I don't know if you've seen lately. Apparently, it's all been fixed and it's all taken out of context. But there was heat towards Nia apparently with a whole R-Truth segment at the Rumble, causing an injury. But apparently, they've hushed it out and it was all fine.
Yeah, I don't know. He seemed quite, I did read that, that he was quite angry, and I don't know if that's why he had such a quick match last week, and then wasn't on the show at all this week, was he?
No.
No.
I don't remember seeing him, no.
I think they said he had his feet up during the, that's on tomorrow's show, that's why it's not in my notes here. No, he wasn't on SmackDown at all.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him. But, yeah, so it came down to... And it ended up with Dean Ambrose versus EC3 with his in-ring Raw debut, with EC3 defeating Dean Ambrose.
Bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
Definitely. So, not only are they trying to build up the top 1% to be an amazing superstar, which anyone who followed NXT and TNA know he's already fantastic. But they're now, to me, I get the sense that they're now going to try and bury Dean until his contract runs out.
Yeah, or maybe not bury, maybe use him as a enhancement talent.
Yeah, like a stepping
regardless,
stone.
people still love him, and I'm sure if he's going out and he wants to put over a few guys on the way out, power to him. I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, definitely. But I suppose it'd be good to see. In the end, it'd be good to see having all of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
We are all WWE fans here. It's why we're here, listening to this show and spending inordinate amounts of hours consuming, complaining, and just generally eating, sleeping, and breathing professional wrestling. But if you want to take that to the next level, the only place to do it is WrestleMania 35 in the city so nice that they named it twice New York. And our new friends at All Aussie Travelers are going to help you make that happen in the best way possible. They are new to the wrestling travel game, granted, but they have over 15 years experience in sports and event tours between the US and Australia, so you know you're in good hands. They want to offer you an exclusive WrestleMania package, including return flights to the USA, 6 nights at the New Yorker Hotel right next to Times Square. And the thing that sets these packages apart are the VIP suites that AAT have secured for WrestleMania. So that's, of course, the Raw after WrestleMania. So not only are you going to go to the Hall of Fame, not only are you going to go to WrestleMania 35, but for NXT TakeOver, SmackDown Live, and the Raw immediately after WrestleMania that next night, you are going to be in an exclusive VIP suite that is not normally available to the public. But AAT, they got it locked down. They got it waiting for you with your name on it, your own private entrance, your own private toilets and bar, as well as an unparalleled view in the most comfortable seats in the house. You can experience WrestleMania weekend like never before, all at really competitive prices. So head over to All Aussie Travelers on Facebook, hit that like button, send them a message, send an email to Jack, that's JAAK, at allaussie.com.au, and let them know the B Plus sent you.
Not speaking of, completely different. How weird was that Mojo Rawley shit?
I completely forgot about that. What is he doing?
I don't know. He's obviously staying hyped. He looked pretty hyped from what I saw.
He looked pretty on some, to be honest.
Yeah, he looked like he'd been taking those. What were they drinking in Japan? Whatever those. Bang? Is that the name of that beverage that everyone was drinking in Japan?
Maybe?
He looked like he'd had a few of those.
A few bangers, mate. That's...
Yeah. Yeah. he looked like he... But I don't know. I kind of got a little bit of like... I really enjoyed the promo. It was a little bit Wyatt family-esque, I found. Like a little bit creepy, kind of. So maybe we're getting something different from him.
Yeah, that's something new. I hope it's not like a Nikki Cross-esque style of crazy, but more like the lunatic side that they wanted to build Dean for.
Yeah, because he's proper jacked. Like, he's a big dude, so he could definitely have like a more dominant sort of role. No one wants the party boy.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone was sick and tired of the hype bros.
Yeah, we also totally skipped over. There was a weird segment with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins as well.
Of course. How can we forget about the 250 match losing streak?
Yeah, they're ready to work together and get back together. That was a little bit of nothingness to me. I feel like I was really into Kurt Hawkins, and I don't know, maybe now I'm not. I'm very cynical today. I'm so sorry.
No, I was pretty hyped for a Kurt Hawkins single run into like a title, just randomly winning it in an open challenge or something.
Yeah, or maybe like an
over the top battle royale for a vacant championship.
Yeah, or like in a match awesome. Where, like a no DQ match or something, and someone comes out and like gets
Like
the other person. Yeah, I don't know. Attacks the other person.
Finn Balor wins the Intercontinental Championship. Then we have an open challenge. Kurt Hawkins answers it. It's a no disqualification match. And then similar to what Bobby Lashley did to Umaga when Santino Marella debuted, just destroys Finn Balor.
Yeah, that's been today's edition of CJ's shit booking. Stay tuned for next week. Let's put these all on the one card. So we've got whatever that you just described, and R-Truth and Carmella getting the women's title to help elevate the status of the United States, and they're going to be the power couple.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video for the B Plus eventually, but it'll be all my bookings in a WWE 2K19 fantasy mode. All of my bookings. Let's see how it pans out. If it works, then you guys owe me an apology and a coffee.
Okay.
It probably won't work.
I'm
shit at booking. Like I said on the group chat, I'm as good as Vince McMahon making bookings, and that's not saying something.
Alrighty, so how did we go with SmackDown?
SmackDown opened up with, again, the A-show herself, the man, Becky Lynch. Well, technically it actually opened with Charlotte, or Goth Charlotte, as I like to call her now. Goth Charlie.
Goth Charlie.
She's keeping that name. That is officially my name for Charlotte. Goth Charlie opened the show pretty much saying, oh, you know what, Becky's gone. It's my time to shine. Does the whole same thing that everyone else has done for the last 2 weeks. Points at the WrestleMania sign. And who comes out from underneath that sign? Becky Lynch. That was a perfect spot for her to come out.
Whenever she comes out in my head, I'm like, na 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 na. Becky fucking Lynch, Becky Lynch, here comes Becky Lynch.
That's almost as bad as the freaking Roman Reigns. The guy with.
I need to like get Greg on to doing one for Becky Lynch for her song.
Yeah, please.
Because I would, yeah. That's just an editor's note. Yeah, I loved the part where Charlotte was like, "Don't go stealing Roman Reigns' entrance." I was like, "Oh, yes. Savage Charlotte," because she's quite good with the odd savage remark. I don't think she gets enough credit for it, but
she's good on the mic.
Yeah, she's very good at being a bit of a savage hoe. I love it.
Savage hoe. Oh, that's good.
But yeah, then we got this thing, which I hated. I hated so much.
This thing?
With Triple H.
The whole segment, yeah. So this whole segment died because it was literally done the day before, but with a different gender.
Yeah, and I think the part for me that was worse was that Triple H was like, he was really belittling Becky Lynch, which I hated because I'm like, are you being a heel? Or because all you're doing is making her look weak and, pointing out that, like, yeah, she's weak and she's scared and whatever. I was just like, I'm not about this. I saw online someone wrote Triple H intentionally tore his quad because he was too scared to be part of the shit invasion angle. Like that would have been a bit of a burner of a line. But yeah, I hated this. I feel like no one looked good after this at all.
No, it was pretty dissatisfying to watch this segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just Becky Lynch is normally fire for everything, but I think they just poorly wrote this.
Yeah,
they poorly wrote this for Triple H.
It was poorly written for sure.
Yeah, it was poorly something.
Yeah, Paulie Levesque. What up?
But it's good to see that producer Adam Pearce got some TV time, though.
I don't even remember this part. What happened with him?
Oh, he just showed up on screen. Oh. I haven't seen him in ages.
Bless him.
Good old Adam Pearce.
Bless him.
Yeah.
But yeah, she beat up Triple H and then was like, how's Steph? I loved that part. That was a bit cute.
Yeah.
She was like, how's Steph?
Yeah, so that was a quick opening game, poorly written. Then we go into the Good Brothers, or the Club, or we can't really reference them as the Bullet Club, but Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Rusev and Nakamura going over by defeating the Club. Why are they burying these guys?
I don't know.
Again, a bona fide tag team who have been tagging for years get buried by a group that has been they're not even in the main event picture. Like, I can understand if these guys were vying for the world title and then they go into a tag team match, that I could understand because then they'd be built properly. But they're literally two guys in a feud, thrown together versus a bona fide tag team. It was a shit move.
Yeah, I mean, it's four people who have been bona fide buried by WWE for the last 2 years or whatever. So it's like, I guess it was a case of, how do we bury both teams in this match? You can't, someone has to go over. Yeah, it was an okay match. I don't hate the teaming of Rusev and Shinsuke, to be fair, as much as the monster foreign heel thing has been done to death. I'm kind of okay with them.
Literally being done by his tag team partner, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, again, so yeah, we get the club losing to Rusev and Nakamura. Next match is Mustafa Ali versus Randy Orton. To be honest, I enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was okay. Sorry, I was about to say I don't remember this match, but I remember talking to Welchie about how boring Randy Orton is. He's so boring these days. He's just come out, collect my paycheck, go home.
At least he comes out and is not a Lesnar and sits on his couch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, we had a good back and forth match between Mustafa Ali and Randy Orton. Mustafa Ali going for the 054 and then Randy literally pulling his feet out from under him, hitting a severe RKO. That was a good RKO.
It was out of nowhere.
Literally. But after the match, I don't know if you've seen the photos, it'll be in the notes down below, but Mustafa Ali was sporting a massive shiner after that match.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where it happened.
Well, I was talking to Greg just before we went live, and it was... We've kind of figured out that it was where the boots came from. There was a couple of moments where Mustafa Ali was on the ground, Randy was laying in the boots, Mustafa eventually holds his head, not necessarily his eye, but his head. So I think that's where he got caught. But I've been reading mixed reports online that it was a solid right hook from Randy. And it collected pretty badly, but who knows? There's so many stories coming out of it.
Yeah, I love Mustafa Ali. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
As much as I was just shit talking Randy Orton. Yeah, love all the work Mustafa's doing, and they seem to be booking him really strongly, which I am loving.
Yeah. And to be honest, when was the last time you saw a little guy like Mustafa Ali get built into a main event title picture?
Yeah, fair call. It's been a while.
Yeah. I think the last person that we saw that was little going into the world title was Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I mean, Finn Balor, obviously, when he won it the first time.
I keep
the first time.
Finn. Yep.
But it was, I think we forget about it because it was only for a day. Truth be told, Finn Balor was probably only ever going to be a transitional champion before they gave it to Goldberg to then give it to Lesnar. I think they would have still gone with that, but yeah, but still, Finn also was very rare that you saw that.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we get Orton defeating Mustafa Ali by pinfall. After the match, Samoa Joe makes his presence known by locking in a coquina clutch to Randy Orton, choking him out. So that's a good way to sort of build a bit of heat.
Yeah, getting everything good to go for Elimination Chamber, which I really liked. I like anything that involves Joe being a badass without being like, hello, Wendy. Anything with him being really creepy and scary without talking about people's wives. All about love your work, Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe is fantastic in the ring, on the mic. He's probably one of the best superstars in the world for that as well. I've had a fair few promos, and Joe's up there. He's in my top 10 for promos.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of promos on this show as well. I felt like I really enjoyed the one with Andrade and Selena Gomez. Oh my god. I'm so tired.
Congratulations, Selena Gomez. You made your WWE debut on SmackDown today.
I know. Selena Vega is so hot. Not even just physically, obviously, she's very attractive, but the way that she interacts with the camera, and she's like so intoxicating. I'm loving them as a pair on the main roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just talking about how they're gonna kill Rey Mysterio or whatever. I didn't quite get the point of it, but it was basically like
They're just going to hurt little Ray Ray.
yeah, poor Ray Ray. One person we didn't see. It's been a while since we've seen Asuka. I feel like we haven't seen Asuka since Royal Rumble.
Hey, yeah, good point. Was she on last week's show?
I don't believe so.
I don't think she was either.
She wasn't on this show either.
Where was her championship celebration?
It'd be nice to see her back soon, especially when you consider how important the SmackDown Women's title has been in recent months. To see it disappear just because it's not on Becky or Charlotte anymore.
Yeah, and at the moment we actually don't have a number one contender either.
No, so I'm wondering if part of that's maybe going to happen at Elimination Chamber. Next week is the take-home show, isn't it?
Oh, I think so.
So you'd want to get something in next week, or maybe they're just not going to. They must defend it. Like, surely, I guess we've still got Fastlane, but I don't know. It's just a mess now. This is what I hate, because I loved the SmackDown Women's title, and now it's just like so much at the back of people's minds.
It's just a blip on the radar now. That's all it is.
Yeah, for sure. We also got a pretty sick promo from the Usos. I really like their stuff of late.
Yeah, Usos are gold on the mic as well. SmackDown just has all the better talkers.
It does. And yeah, they were shit talking McMiz. Is that what they call? What's it? The greatest tag team in the world? McMiz. Yeah, and like just saying that the Usos are the greatest tag team in the WWE. Why are these new guys coming along and whatever? And yeah, I assume that we're going to see that as a pairing pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, we've got Usos versus McMiz at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
That's okay. It's late.
Yeah.
But speaking of Elimination Chamber, actually, we got a random ass tag team inserted into the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which is Naomi and Carmella.
Yeah, the Fabulous Glow.
What on earth?
I think that's what they call themselves. Yeah.
That's actually a pretty badass name, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I can see them working in a sense, but I think it needs to be built a bit better rather than being like, hey, do you guys just want to be in the chamber?
Yeah, because it's like you've got set tag teams. Like I've got here that Mandy and what's her name? Hair Up and Square Up? Sonia. They're called Fire and Desire.
Oh, like
apparently. That. Yeah, I don't know which one is which. Like, I would assume that Mandy would be Desire, but then she always has like the flames and shit in her, like on her gear and stuff. Anyway, they're like an actual team. You've got Bailey and Sasha as an established team, and then you've kind of got like people who have just been put. Obviously, the Iconics are an actual team, and then you've got just people who are randomly stuck together, which is quite weird.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. But
we got the right team went.
Yeah,
I was going to say the right team went through, but does that mean the Iconics aren't in Elimination Chamber?
No, the Iconics are in Elimination Chamber, but it was mainly. It was. I think this was just to promote.
Yeah,
this was just to build it. That's all it was. It was. The match itself was Naomi and Carmella. Or what did you call it again? Sorry,
the Fabulous Glow. That's what they called it on the show.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. So Fabulous Glow versus the Iconics versus Fire and Desire, or Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Yep.
It sounds weird to me, that name. I don't know. But yeah, so I had this in a triple threat match with Rose and Deville defeating the Iconics and Naomi and Carmella, of course. This, yeah, I think it was just to build momentum. That's all it was.
I'm okay. I'm always okay with more women getting on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoyed it. Enjoyable enough match. Very much like I would say it was like a B show, like a filler show, but I think it was still better than Raw, even though we started off with the massacring of Becky Lynch's character.
Pretty
Massacring is a strong word. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay show. It was an okay show.
Yeah, I think this... I actually think that Naomi and Carmella being thrown into this match is just to keep the Naomi Mandy Rose feud alive.
Yeah, which now that they're moving, if they had have just done that from the start with the throwback to NXT, that would have been fine. That's a perfectly fine thing. If they're going to build it from that rather than this weird, I want to bang your husband thing, I'm completely fine with it.
We got a flash of the Attitude Era for like 3 weeks, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And of course, we get the main event, the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy versus Captain Planet himself, Daniel Bryan.
He's our hero.
Yeah, apparently. So, decent back and forth match. It was pretty good. Neither man was able to actually grab sustained control, despite Bryan trapping Jeff Hardy in the Indian Deathlock. That's a pretty brutal move. It's actually a brutal move. But then you get a bit of interference by Rowan, which allowed Bryan to send Hardy into the steps, heading into the final break of the night. So then we get a little bit more back and forth. Samoa Joe hits the ring, making Bryan pass out. Well, he didn't actually pass out, but locking him into the Coquina Clutch. Sending a final message to his opponent to the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think that whole spot probably would have been better for next week. I think that would have been a really good take-home thing going into Elimination Chamber. But it was fine. Like, I actually completely forgot about this match, to be honest. I was very tired by the end of SmackDown. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, but, taking it into context, that's all it was. It was fine.
It was fine.
To me, I was just kind of like, alright, is it done?
Yeah, which makes me really sad because normally at the end of SmackDown I'm like, oh, I forget that it's so much shorter than Raw. But this week I was like, thank God it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. And then following SmackDown, of course, we get 205, which was again, I
didn't watch it. Full disclosure.
Don't blame you. You had Brian Kendrick going over defeating Mike Kanellis again. We get a quick Instagram promo of Araya Davari complaining about Hideo Itami, blew it again, time and time again, wanting to talk about respect. They're talking about Hideo Itami. Didn't he just quit?
Yeah.
So all the reports following 205 last week were Hideo Itami has asked for his release. There has been no official word from WWE saying that they have cut ties with him. As far as I know, as of this recording, he is still under 205 roster. He hasn't been removed to alumni. Actually, I'm going to do a quick fact check right now. I haven't seen him get moved. They're still mentioning him on TV, which is always a good thing. Like, I suppose that it's obviously not like the worst thing. They could just completely ignore him like they did to CM Punk. No, he's still on the roster. Let's do a quick check. He's still on the roster. So potentially it could have just been like a work? Maybe?
Potentially. I have no idea.
Then you get quick promos by the four men in the main event tonight. You get the recap beatdown of Noam Dar and Tony Nese, who has been suspended indefinitely. So Tony Nese has been written off TV for quite some time now. Then you get Drake Maverick, it's all mixed up in my notes here. Drake Maverick telling Drew and Jack that his decision is final and he won't allow them to be in the corner for Humberto Carrillo tonight. These guys are trying to recruit Humberto into making a better 205. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's a bit weird. I don't know any of this. I don't know what you're talking about. So you just don't ask for my opinion. Just yeah.
Well,
just tell people what they want to hear.
I'll quickly go through the final match of the night. Akira Tozawa versus Cedric Alexander versus Humberto Carrillo versus Leo Rush, who did double duty this week for a number one contendership Cruiserweight Championship. Cedric Alexander defeating Leo Rush. Then Akira Tozawa eliminated both Humberto Carrillo and Cedric Alexander. Moving on to being the number one contender, we will see Akira Tozawa versus Buddy Murphy, I reckon, on the pre-show of Elimination Chamber.
Sorry, can you just repeat that for me?
Looks like we're gonna have Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa at Elimination Chamber for the Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show, because apparently we're not main event material.
Yeah, Buddy retained forever.
Oh, Buddy retained forever until like Ricochet comes up.
Retain forever.
But that is pretty much it. That's everything for the main roster this week. Again, it was quite bland, quite simple. Yeah. What was your favourite part of the week?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch being in everything this week.
Just Becky Lynch, yeah. Just whenever she comes out. Was it this week or last week where Ronda Rousey says something and then Becky was like, what the hell did you just say? Because, yeah, I think it was, no one understood what you were just saying. Maybe that was last week. I don't know. It's all blurring together.
Yeah, WWE kind of does that to us.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much WWE Universe for this week, guys. Danders, where can we find you?
Find me on Instagram at Rachel Danderfield, on Twitter at Danderfield, and as always, don't add me on Facebook because we're not friends.
And I am CJ from CJ's World on Facebook and at CJ's_world on Instagram. But we collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B Plus Wrestling is pretty much everywhere else except for Patreon, which is just www.patreon.com/the B Plus. If you want to get in on our mission to watch global, support local, then that's the place to do it. Every dollar comes in, goes into growing the show and helping to get the word out about Aussie grabs. So, on Patreon, of course, you get your ad-free episodes, custom episodes, call-ins, which we have another one coming up soon, and awesome rewards there around it. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and as always, thank you for listening.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
So, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy. Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family Granunzo.
Mamma mia! It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Number 4.